Once again, Sight and Sound magazine forgot to ask for my list of the 10 greatest films of all time. But don't sweat it, Sight and Sound, it's perfectly alright. There's always next decade. I'll make up for their lapse with this video of my very own choices for the best films ever made. As all lists worth a damn, these are personal votes, all backed up by the sheer objective quality in display. These are films that represent the highest greatness cinema can achieve. Their screenplays are perfect, with impeccable characters and dialogue, perfect directing, with pristine framing and camera work. These 10 films are cinema. We'll get more specific as we roll along, but basically they're all films that can be reviewed by this line.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Now the list, in chronological order. The rules of the game.
Ça a l'air beaucoup moins intéressant ce que tu vois là-bas.
Très intéressant.
Very respected, Jean Renoir's masterpiece is deservedly in every list you'll find of the best films ever made, and may it ever be so. The highly elaborate and sophisticated script follows a web of romantic entanglements in a high-class French estate. Jackie loves André, who loves Christine, who's married to Robert, who has an affair with Genevieve. Christine's maid Lisette is married to Schumacher, but she openly flirts with Marceau, and Octave is there too.
You got a sweetheart?
No, I'm in love with a girl, she's married to someone, and she's in love with someone, and he's married. It's a real healthy situation.
It's a breathless comedy of manners as great as the best of French theater, in which everybody's an unfaithful hypocrite and those who feel real love end up heartbroken or dead. What's not to love?
On est à une époque où tout le monde ment. Les prospectus des pharmaciens, les gouvernements, la radio, le cinéma, les journaux. Alors pourquoi veux-tu que nous autres, les simples particuliers, on monte pour aussi?
Renoir matches the screenplay's complexity with jaw-dropping visual flair. The cast is blocked in continual motion, filling up every point and layer of the screen. And the fluid camera follows each action to make this complicated universe clear and seamless. A film can only make the list if it looks like the writer and the director suffered. The rules of the game is the perfect combination of story and style that will mark the films in this list. Sunset Boulevard.
Poor dope. He always wanted a pool. Well, in the end, he got himself a pool. Only the price turned out to be a little high.
If there's a top 5 for the greatest directors of all time and one for the greatest screenwriters, Billy Wilder is the only filmmaker who's in both of them, and this is his greatest achievement.
Still wonderful, isn't it? And no dialogue. We didn't need dialogue. We had faces.
Full of memorable dialogue, it's also got what just might be the best voiceover narration in movie history.
They beached me like a harpoon baby whale. Then I talked to a couple of yes men at Metro. To me, they said no. I didn't argue with her. You don't yell at a sleepwalker. He may fall and break his neck.
I must confess, I have a weakness for dialogue featuring witty verbal cruelty.
Sometimes it's interesting to see just how bad writing can be. This promised to go the limit. What right do you have to take me for granted?
What right? You want me to tell you?
I wondered what a handwriting expert would make of that childish scrawl of hers.
Billy Wilder matches the script's creativity by directing Sunset Boulevard with lots of subtle visual metaphors, which include what is, without a doubt, the most brilliant shot in movie history. And Gloria Swanson's performance as Norma Desmond, it makes no sense how perfect it is. It has absolutely everything that would make for a Hemi embarrassment, yet it works.
Because they want to see me, Norma Desmond. Put it back. And if you hadn't been pretty darn interested in that script, he wouldn't have tried to get me on the telephone 10 times. What for? I can say anything I want with my eyes.
It's true.
That silent acting brought to a world of words with every gesture and facial expression hitting the mark. I've never seen anything like it before or since, and I am physically incapable of thinking of the word satin without seeing those finger waggles.
I want the coffin to be white, and I want it specially lined with satin, satin, satin.
The Bridge on the River Kwai. Here's the thing about epics. When they fail spectacularly. They are boring, lifeless drudgeries. Superficial silhouettes speaking self-important speeches for far too long.
The man has the strength of a devil. No, the strength of a god.
But when an epic film succeeds, that's when you got yourself a masterpiece. The Bridge on the River Kwai is perfection. It's a visual spectacle inhabited by memorable characters.
Do not speak to me of rules. This is war. This is not a game of cricket.
All of whom go through deep individual arcs as the story's dense plot develops. The plot is actually two parallel plots, with Commander Shears, hey, there's William Holden again,
Thank you.
acting as an unwilling protagonist against the accidental antagonist, Erno Nicholson. I hate him so much. And because parallel lines meet at infinity, the two plots converge in a finale so exciting it's never been matched. David Lean's name is synonym with epic, and everything that can make a movie worthy of the word can be found here.
May you rest in peace. He found little enough of it while he was alive.
His images are elaborate and full. He makes equal use of the wide 2:5:5:1 ratio and the even larger background to show you how limitless are the possibilities of the movie screen.
Oi, acha. Hey, oi, acha. Hey, oi, acha. Oi, oi, acha.
This is what epic cinema is all about, visually linking characters to the large world they live in. When an epic falls into place, it's one of the best films ever made.
Good hunting. Good show. Jolly good fun. Jolly, jolly good.
Speaking of which, The Big Country.
You let him run my cows off and you come back standing up.
What could we do, Pa? There was 20 of them. Just a few of us.
Them cows is worth more than the whole lot of you.
The best film in the impressive career of Pantheon director William Wyler. This is an engrossing, ambitious, entertaining, and lusty epic western. It's got an ensemble of excellent, colorful characters immersed in a sprawling story about a blood feud for territorial expansion.
You set foot in Blanco Canyon once more, and this country's gonna run red with blood.
It's got humor, death, love, hatred, adventure, and manliness.
There's no reason for you to be so...
Don't you care what people think?
No, I'm not responsible for what people think. Only for what I am.
It's classical Hollywood in all the best senses. Could someone not love watching Gregory Peck and Charlton Heston punching each other to sunrise?
Now tell me, Leach, what did we prove?
William Wyler was always a master of visual depth, movement, and staging. And, as The Bridge on the River Kwai does, as all epics should do, The Big Country paints an elaborate canvas that gives the environment as much importance as the characters. Just as the story requires,
This is a big country.
uncountable shots give emphasis to the horizon, showing how the movie's world extends far beyond where mortal eyes can see.
This country's as big as the sea, Jim. It offers a man the same challenge.
I can see that.
And what a musical score! Oh, and the title in Portuguese is From the Earth, Men Are Born, which has got to be the manliest combination of words ever made. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Now you're dead.
Did I mention I got a thing for verbal cruelty?
Be careful, Martha. I'll rip you to pieces.
You're not man enough. You haven't the guts.
In the most complicated romantic relationship ever written, George and Martha spend an entire night verbally torturing each other and the unwary young couple that's come to visit.
Hark, forest sounds. Animal noises.
Hey!
Who did the painting?
Oh, that's fine.
Some Greek with a mustache Martha attacked one night in a...
A great, big, fat, flop!
Stop it, Martha.
I hope that was an empty bottle, George. You can't afford to waste good liquor.
It also gets occasionally physical. Edward Albee's dialogue is a delight of malicious sparring.
There isn't an abomination award going that you haven't won.
I swear if you existed, I'd divorce you.
And though this is a heartbreaking story about intentional emotional abuse, this film is hilarious.
Martha! Oh, hell, Martha. Gee. There are easier things than being married to the daughter of the president of that university. There are easier things in this world.
Some men would give their right arm for the chance.
Alas, Martha, in reality, it works out that the sacrifice is of a somewhat more private portion of the anatomy.
You're such a simp.
With a screenplay like this, it would have been hard not to make a masterpiece. But Mike Nichols raises it to the list of the 10 best films of all time thanks to an impressive direction that never calls attention to itself but gives the story just the punch it needs.
You son of a bitch!
The movie is rich with expressionistic shadows and angles. There's an exemplary use of depth. The cuts are tight and meaningful, and strong close-ups help Burton and Taylor shine even brighter.
Total War?
Total.
If you ask me what's the best performance in movie history,
I am preoccupied with history.
I'd say it's a tie, and they are both in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
My God, what archery.
It's Richard Burton in a chilling, understated masterclass.
Sunday tomorrow. All day.
And Elizabeth Taylor in an overbearing, explosive spectacle.
I'm loud, and I'm vulgar, and I wear the pants in the house because somebody's got to. But I am not a monster!
I love so much the messy way Martha tidies up her house. In 100 years, I would never come up with the idea of hiding a plate in the drawer. That's part of why the film is so perfect. Though it takes place in a handful of rooms, the sets are so detailed and the actors interact with them so naturally.
Betty Davis gets peritonitis at the end. And she wears this big black frock wig all throughout the picture, and she's married to Joseph Cotton or something.
Somebody.
Somebody.
That this compact world feels more alive than most films supposedly bigger. And to this day, I am physically incapable of putting on a coat without thinking of the term subhuman monster.
It's nice the way some people still have manners and just don't come breaking into other people's houses. Even if they do hear some subhuman monster yowling at them from inside.
God damn you!
Once Upon a Time in the West. Yes, another epic. This time it's an impactful revenge saga full of powerful images. What a climax is that showdown. What a villain is Frank.
What are we gonna do with this one, Frank?
Now that you've called me by name, keep your loving brother happy.
I don't know what to think about that. Sergio Leone is deservedly praised for his patient build-up of tension, for his effective use of CinemaScope close-ups, and for his operatic collaboration with Ennio Morricone's heavenly music. Best score of all time? It's possible. Why don't more scores use guitars? Leone's talent that doesn't seem to get any attention is how excellent he is with dialogue.
Yeah,
Yes, his films are full of long stretches of silence, but when dialogue comes, it is a shootout of amazing lines.
The reward for this man is $5,000, that's right?
Judas was content with $4,970 less.
There are many kinds of weapons, and the only one that can stop that is this.
There were no dollars in them days.
But sons of bitches, yeah.
With a few words, Leone's vivid characters speak with practical intelligence.
You know, man, when you kill 4, it's easy to make it 5.
Concise effectiveness.
As long as you use your head, you never.
And restrained feeling.
I hope you'll come back someday.
Someday.
Sweetwater wartet auf dich.
Irgendeiner wartet immer.
What the fuck, Germany? Jeanne Dielman. Sorry, couldn't resist it. Let's talk about serious filmmaking. A Fish Called Wanda.
What are you doing?
I'm thinking!
The Perfect Comedy. A fast-paced farce about double-crossing, honey-trapping, backstabbing and little old lady killing that moves at breakneck speed from one hysterical scene to the next.
Otto, what are you doing?
It's a Buddhist meditation technique. It focuses your aggression. The monks used to do it before they went into battle.
Making comedy is no joke. A Fish Called Wanda makes this clear with an enviable screenplay and the most appropriate direction imaginable. With his energetic blocking, wide shots, fluid camera work, frame filling and background action, Charles Crichton takes the story's juggling of endless actions and jokes and presents them as they should be shown.
He's going to kill her! Fuck off, or I'll kill you. Buy me fruits!
The screenplay creates an array of perfectly comical characters and inserts them into perfectly ironic situations to milk every last laugh out of the audience. Take animal-loving stutterer Ken.
You really like animals, don't you, Ken? What's the attraction?
Because you can trust them and they don't
shit on you?
He needs to kill an old lady who has 3 little dogs. At each attempt, he fails and kills one of her dogs instead. And he also is the one who needs to give a vital piece of information when time is of the essence.
No hurry. Sing it. Sing.
Still, Kevin Kline steals the show as the stupid villain Otto.
Don't call me stupid.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! I've known sheep that could outwit you. I've worn dresses with higher IQs.
I've never seen anyone deliver so many lines with such perfect timing, charisma, and misanthropy.
Isn't it terrible about George? When I find the bastard who squealed. I love that man! Talking to a lot of snotty, stuck-up, intellectually inferior British faggots. Jesus, they're uptight. Ken! You're a very attractive man, Ken. You're smart. You've got wonderful bones. Great eyes, and you dress really interestingly.
Seriously, every word out of his mouth is comedy gold.
Good to be here, George. England is a fine country.
And he teaches you exactly the right thing to say for when beholding a nice pair of boobs.
Le due cupola grandi della cattedrale di Milano.
The cook, the thief, his wife, and her lover.
What sort of party is this, Georgie? What's going on?
It's not only the best title ever, it's the perfect example of formalism in cinema. Combining theatricality, architecture, and music, it shows how cinema is the ultimate amalgam of every art form.
What you've got to realize is that a clever cook puts unlikely things together. It's called artistry.
Peter Greenaway's modern revenge tragedy is high art presenting a scatological story featuring sex, coprophagia, humiliation, torture, and cannibalism. Fun for the whole family.
Now, you behave yourself in future and pay when I ask you. Or next time I'll make you eat your own shit. After first forcing it out of you through your dick like toothpaste.
It's got one of the most perfect uses of music ever put on film. The plot structure and the camera movements follow the rhythm of Michael Nyman's unforgettable music, Memorial, adapted from Henry Purcell. A minimalistic Baroque piece that repeats its melody over and over with small alterations as it builds up to a climax.
I go to a good hairdresser.
Yes, the best there is.
I go to a good dentist.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, he's Jewish.
I go to a good gynecologist.
You what?
In the same way, the screenplay, which is formed by 8 acts, is built around the repetition of perfectly photographed events with small alterations until we reach the delicious final scene, which just might be the best ending in movie history. And like the masterpieces of Baroque painting, the film bristles with images that have so many things going on at once that it's a delight to decide which detail to look at.
Start laying them out. Yeah. What's the matter?
JFK.
3, 2, 1.
Oliver Stone's encyclopedic magnum opus is, in my book, the single best representation of everything cinema can be.
The sixth and fatal shot, frame 313, takes Kennedy in the head from the front. This is the key shot.
This is it. This is what the art form can accomplish when you are wholly unrestrained by limits.
You're close. You're closer than you think.
Editing has never been done with such creativity and effect.
Now we're through the looking glass here, people. White is black, and black is white.
And it creates one of the most unique audiovisual worlds you'll ever see.
And then shots rang out. Mary fell to the ground right away. She was yelling, they're shooting, get down.
One could believe this movie idea would never work. The screenplay is one endless parade of exposition dumps. Characters speak and speak and speak about things that happened or may have happened, but each person has their own unique characterization, and their narrations are made alive by Stone's appropriate use of everything he can throw at the audience.
Key witnesses that day? Charles Brem, the combat vet. Right behind, Gene Hill and Mary Moorman.
Highly complex events become crystal clear, and in the quieter moments, Stone can frame some damn good frames. And that Jim Garrison speech in the end is a verbal marvel.
We've all become Hamlets in our country, children of a slain father leader, whose killers still possess the throne. Do not forget your dying king.
Hamlet.
And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged.
This is the last epic, I swear. Kenneth Branagh took the greatest achievement of the English language and presented it in full.
Out! Out, thou strumpet fortune! All you gods in general sinner, take away her power!
With enough visual panache to make it as meaningful to cinema as Shakespeare's play is to literature.
Adieu, adieu, Hamlet. Remember.
There's so much greatness on screen, it's overwhelming.
This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave.
Branagh makes use of long, unobtrusive takes and fast cuts.
Around! Dead! Dead!
There's comedy, there's passion, there's horror, there's every level of energy.
Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage. For he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally.
Branagh's boisterous performance makes you wonder why is Hamlet so often played as an asocial gloomy brooder when the character is such a loud, rambunctious attention whore.
I loved Ophelia!
40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum.
And the "My thoughts be bloody" speech just might be the most epic shot in movie history. How the camera flies away to turn Hamlet into a part of the environment and the marching army in the background. I bet it played in Shakespeare's mind as he wrote.
My thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth.
Oh, that is for Ken Branagh's endless, uncut 4-hour version of Hamlet. Who's Ken Branagh? I'll tell him you said that. And I think he'll be very hurt.
And that's it, the movie-wise list of the 10 greatest films of all time. And since we're here, why not list 10 more honorable mentions?
I'm sorry indeed to lose you, but I want you to know I couldn't be fonder of you if you were my own son. Well, if you lose a son, it's possible to get another. There's only one Maltese falcon.
C'est ma destinée à moi de les ressusciter un peu, tous les grands de ce monde. Ils ont joué leur rôle. Maintenant, c'est à mon tour.
And please stop acting as if I were the Queen Mother. I'm sorry, I didn't
Outside of a beehive, Margot, your behavior would hardly be considered either queenly or motherly.
There'll be no locks or bolts between us, Mary Kate, except those in your own mercenary little heart.
J'ai reçu des nouvelles de mon mari. Excellente, merci.
Marcello, Marco, vieni un pochettino. Ma c'è, alza la testa. Marcello, alza un momentino la testa.
A big plane like a 52. Vroom! There's jet exhaust, frying chickens in the barnyard.
Yeah, but has he got a chance?
Has he got a chance? Hell,
How much better can you eat? What can you buy that you can't already afford?
The future, Mr. Gitz. The future.
I don't deserve this. To die like this. Deserves got nothing to do with it.
Thank you for watching.